Hey everybody, how you doing? I have this kind of this. Oh no. There we go. Jesus Christ, this is so stupid. It's like I've purposely made this hard. I don't want to block my face, but at the same time, we got to have this like background. Man, the behind the scenes of, doing all this for you guys is really incredible if you think about it. But hey, how you doing? This is live. Thanks for popping in. As you can see, I'm moving the mic just at the right distance so I don't have to yell at you guys like I always do as in my other videos. But hey, it's been a while, and I wanted to check in with everybody, see how you're all doing, and make sure that one that I can actually share my screen here. That's what I'm doing. So if we look over here, I'm going to hit this button, and it says share screen, and I'm going to allow, I believe, and then select tab to share. Oh, I don't want to share it. Let's see. I want to share. I'll share the entire screen. Look at that. That is so cool. Okay, here we go. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Guys, I think I broke the internet. So this is a rabbit hole. And if you wow, that's like infinite like possibilities or something like that. So I don't know what to do now that we've broken the internet, but basically, what I do like to do is I like to keep with the basics. That's why I created a little slide deck that I want you to see. Oh, wait, where did I go? It's like I disappeared. Oh, no, dude. Like, I am not on the screen because I'm right here. Okay, so this is getting way too crazy. I think what I need to do is I need to like do this. Okay, this is amazing. Have you guys ever seen a live stream before? Because I've done them, but I've never like really shared a screen before, and so this is really amazing. I know you guys saw the slides, right? But how do I share the slides on top of that? Let me see. Oh, I'll X out of all the other slides that I've made. Okay, because I've been making so many slides for so many different whatchamacallits, videos these days. So because I'm really oh, there's another slide. Okay, that's the book cover that I'm working on. Guys, don't tell anybody. Oh my God, that's the t-shirts I've been working on. Don't tell anybody, okay? There we are. All right, we're getting somewhere, I think, because technically I believe I'm sharing screen. So if I do this, I'm pretty small. I don't know why I'm small, but it doesn't matter, does it? And then if we kind of go into what's this? Okay, that this looks more like a presentation, right? Okay, it's not really the best. I'm gonna be honest because like I should be bigger. I mean, obviously, but like at least you get the idea. So okay, because like I want to get this like over with so we can get to the other thing that I wanted to get to. Okay, so first of all, we're just going to be focusing on like real California English. I hope like everybody like understands that. That's all I wanted to say. Um, like, cause like I did this. So I have like a 3-step seminar that you guys can look at if you just click the link. Like if you want to really get deep about it, you know what I mean? But like I found myself kind of just like over explaining everything, so, I'm just gonna keep it simple, all right? And if you have any questions, you can, like, ask, and we can go from there. Because like, it's like, I'm, like, overthinking, like, "Oh, I gotta explain why, like, American English is something you should study," because, like, it's not that it's number 1, it's just that it's, like, really common. and it's like familiar and it's like cool. Like I don't know, like you got to pick one, right? And so anyway, I can like talk for hours about that, but I'm like, okay, let's just get to the point. All right, here we are. Let's just learn California English. All right. Anybody got any questions? We'll roll with the punches as we go. All right. So then the next thing we're going to do, and we're going to do that live, is we're going to listen to a thousand people. All right. Because basically, if you're looking with your eyeballs, right, and you're just like looking when you study, like you're literally not going to learn anything because sound is a is an audio experience. You know what I mean? So like if you're only looking at stuff, you're never gonna learn anything, like literally. So the goal is not to like listen to me or to like a teacher or anything like that, but it's to like listen to like real people. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to get onto the internet and kind of like listen to real Americans, and we'll discuss from there. You know what I mean? Because it's like I don't know what you're going to not know, and I don't know what you know. You know what I mean? And it's like I can't pretend like you're just a beginner because I want to assume you actually speak English. Like that's like the presumption is that like everybody just speaks English. And it's like, oh, so for anybody that needs to like review the basics, go ahead and go to my 3 step seminar. And the 3 step seminar is down there somewhere. Like that's where I kind of like, ooh, I just touched the mic. That's where I kind of like do everything in this like nice kind of like long form version, right? So you really fully kind of like grasp all the steps that it takes to get to where we are right now. And basically then after we like listen to like 1,000 people, then you make flashcards for anything that you don't understand or anything that you want to say. You know what I mean? So like if you're watching a video and you're like, "Oh my god, that's like so fucking unbelievable." Right? But you don't know how to say that in English. You're like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe what I'm reading." Like it's so incredible. The news is so incredible. It's so unbelievable, like so what do you say in those situations, right? Well, let's talk about it because we're going to see some pretty fucking unbelievable things if I can share the right window, okay? But anyway, anytime you hear something, anytime that you experience something that you don't understand, you just make a flashcard, right? So if you hear a word, right, like I don't know, immigrants or something like that, you're like, okay, I understand that word or I don't understand that word. Let's look it up, right? And then you have to like be able to understand like the hidden meaning of the word because it's basically a big dog whistle for certain people. But like, I don't want to get too deep right now. But basically together we're going to figure out what's going on, like in reality, like in America, cuz I don't know what you guys know and I only know what I know. So I'm going to share what I know, but it's not much. If you know what I mean. It's like we're trying to figure this out together. All right. So let us move over here to this internet. Wait. I wanted to keep me in the loop. How am I going to do that if I'm like not in the thing? Hey, look, it's me again. Cool. So basically, I wanted to show you guys how I basically use YouTube. And as you can see, um, I don't really study English. Every once in a while, I get something like this, and it's like, yeah, I'm not studying English, but I try to only look at things that are interesting to me. And some things are interesting, some things are not interesting, like as you can see, the algorithm is like pushing like other English things on me. And it's like, why is this guy covering his face? Like, why would you cover your face if you're on the internet? You know what I mean? So anyway, whatever. You guys want to watch that, go ahead and watch that. Sure. I'm sure he knows what he's talking about. Like, big deal. But then, I do keep my eye on all of the Apple products, right? And then I look at this and I go, can I trust this guy? Because Apple leaks is, there's so many like fake stories out there, right? So it's like, is this guy true or is this guy honest? Is this guy somebody I know? And honestly, I don't know who this guy is, so I'm not going to click on it. I have other YouTubers that I listen to about Apple News, if you know what I mean. And so I do listen to a lot of Mr. Beast stuff because I'm fascinated by Mr. Beast. And I released a video about Mr. Beast, and you guys didn't really like that. And so it's just kind of like, what? Oh, see, like this one right here. If you know what, why don't we just watch it? Because you know what? It's Mr. Beast, and I've already been watching this. So it's like, let's watch it together and see kind of what happens.
That's right. Like, there's a lot of things.
Okay, hold on. I got a comment here. That's a very interesting question. So that is Football 24, beautiful name, by the way. I want to say that that is exactly basically kind of sort of if that made any sense my exact situation but opposite, if that makes any sense. So if I understand this right, because I'm not using any translation software, I want you guys to understand how difficult Japanese is. I hope you I hope you realize that it is really hard. But I um yeah, so becoming exactly the same, that is going to be up to you. But if you were serious about it, I would say 7 years at the most. Like if you're serious about it. So obviously, it depends on who you are, and if I wanted to, how do you say, introduce you to some people that I've met, I could. Um, like I could, like if you guys want to meet like a Japanese person that's lived in America for 10 years or more, I could make a video and you guys can just hear for yourself. Because I don't want to like lie to you and say everybody can sound like a native person. It's 100% your mindset. All right. And I know other people talk about shit like this, but it's true because basically it's like what, the year 2025, and like you don't speak English yet. We need to talk because I learned how to speak Japanese. まあ、逆に考えるとね。Sorry, I spoke Japanese. Why would I do that? Because I want to explain. I want to make sure that everybody understands, especially whenまあ、日本語で質問されると、なんか日本語モードになっちゃうんだけど、で、まあ、俺、19歳の時、舞鶴に留学しました。それで、まあ、途中で、なんか俺も、まあ、舞鶴の人みたいに喋れるようになりたいなと思って、まあ、それ目標として、まあ、頑張って日本語の勉強して、毎日漢字の手で書いて、もう、諦めたっていうか、なんだろうね。やっぱり東京に住んでった時、もう舞鶴留学して、まあ、10ヶ月でしょ。で、まあ、大学卒業して、また日本に戻ってきて、なんか、子供英会話で勤めてて、まあ、いろいろ経験して、でももう東京はもう、2、3、5、5、6、7年間ぐらいかな。わかんないけど、その最初の1年目で、いや、なんだろうね。日本語、なんだろう。100% 日本人みたいに喋れるようになったら、なんだろうと思ったのね。なんか、そこまで頑張んなくていいと思って、ね。ね。もうこれでいいと思ったよね。だって、日常的に誰かと会話して、何かなんかミスコミュニケーション的な問題があんまりなくて、一回だけだよね。一回っていうか、ね。その話もしたくないんだけどね。I got a phone call, and I got a phone call from immigration, and they were using so many big words. I was like, okay, I don't understand what you're saying. And I said, なんか今何言ってるかちょっとわかんないよね。 And it was this big long story because I literally didn't understand. So obviously, becoming perfect, right? Really, or, native level, you really just have to be realistic if that's a goal that you want, because 80% is great. I went to auditions, in Tokyo, and I they like, for example, they would have like we want a gaijin ne, that speaks Japanese. And so it was basically the same 10 tarentone that would go to these auditions, maybe 15, right? Because there weren't that many foreigners that spoke Japanese. So, you know, uh, 目立つじゃない? Like, it's like, oh, this one actually speaks Japanese. Like, yeah, actually, kind of, sort of. But anyway, here we are. Like, what's going on? Like, what do you want to film? Like, I was super excited when I was like acting in Tokyo. Not gonna lie, like I loved it. Like, I was talking to the director of Shonen H, this old guy, and he was all like, kind of like looking at this World War II set, right? And I was playing a German Jew running away from the Holocaust. True story. I mean, as far as I know, like the movie, I was in a movie that was a true story. And then I'm talking to the director. I'm like, "Hey, when's the first time you've ever like saw like an American?" Like I genuinely asked him. He's like old, right? Like 80 something years old, and he told me the story of like he was on a plane and like the pilot was like chewing gum, and he was like a kid, right? And the pilot was like chewing gum, and he had this impression that he was kind of like smirking, you know what I mean? Like was confident, had this like arrogance about him, right? But then he looked closer and he was just chewing gum. And so maybe he was a little quick to judge him or something. He told me that story. And like I like listening to this, like fascinated by it, you know what I mean? Because like he's making this like story about like history and like truth and like the mindset of the people at the time, right? And so um it was really fascinating just to have his real world memory of a historic era that like most of us have forgotten about, you know what I mean? So fascinating stuff when you actually go out and talk to people, right? But again, my level of perfection, like, yeah, I could talk to a Japanese old person, like my host grandpa when I lived in Maizuru. He was very hard to understand, but he did his best to be nice to me. He always was kind to me. He always got me like a sandwich from the local kombini and like a drink. And me and my host brother would play Super Famicom だっけスーパープレイステーションじゃなかったよね。2回目戻った時、プレイステーションになったよね。すごいな。でも、ぴよぴよみたいなゲームあるんじゃない？それ、なんか一緒にやってて、なんかそのままみたいな。なんだろうね。思い出 So it's like, how perfect do you need to be? It's like, are we communicating or are we not communicating? So for you, as you come to America, like, are you going to focus on like all of the pronunciations that you need to focus on? You know what I mean? Like, and we can get into the details, right? It's like, okay, did you know there's only 5 sounds that you need to learn if you wanted to like really speak American English? 5. That's it. 5 vowels. Excuse me. There's 10 or 5 other consonants, and I'm going to make this video soon. Like, hope you guys enjoy it, but it's going to be like, I'm going to just introduce you the 10 most difficult sounds that you need to kind of like learn if you do want to speak with like an American accent. So anyway, the sounds, right? Like if you're serious about like really perfecting your American accent, that's like one of the first things you got to really pay attention to. And there's only 10. So just like master the 10 sounds and that's it. Like seriously, it's not that hard. There's only 10. and I created the color system to help you with it. Oh man, I should just make that little book. Like, because it's like with the book, like you okay, so when I learned katakana in hiragana, they use this strategy where they and I can do it right here, but I'll say like target, so ta, and they drew a picture of a guy shooting an arrow at a target. So ta イコールターゲット。で、まあ、発音関係なくて、その見た目だけだから、まあ、it looks like a target. So it's target, right? And で、なんか、ローって、なんかロケットのロケットで、なんかローみたいな、まあ、ロケットの形みたいな。So I was like, okay, I can learn hiragana and furikana if katakana if you take the shape and put it with a shape that you already know, right? So when I'm teaching the American accent, basically I'm using the color, right? So we got the red apple, red right? But then we have the avocado green for avocado, and then we can use the color to like remember that's a red a sounds, like Japan. So anyway, if you really want to master these sounds, there's only 10. All right. It's not that hard. Like literally go to my 3 step thing, check it out if you really want to get serious about it. Right. But then the next thing that you got to do for the rest of your life, basically, is actually listen to people talk normally. Right. So one of the problems that happens when a 20 something year old Japanese person comes to like America or something like that, they're like, oh, you're learning English. Well, let me talk slowly to you so that you can understand. And that's very nice because we're humans and that's what we do. But it doesn't help you get up to speed with the way that we actually talk. So what happens is then a lot of people then create this kind of like safety bubble of people that they can talk to, but not everybody. Because like everybody, that's real Americans, they talk too fast, which is true, maybe kind of sorta. But you only talk to the people that you feel most comfortable with, and those are the people that kind of talk slowly so that you understand, right? But if you really want to challenge yourself, you got to get out there and like literally talk to 1,000 people, like as many people as possible. And if you do that, you have a really good shot of like maybe one day sounding native. But unless you do that, I don't see any possible way that you can really achieve sounding like a native person. And again, do you really got to go that hard? Do you really got to go that deep? You know what I mean? So, football 24, I really appreciate the question. Like, you just made me talk for 20 minutes. And obviously, the answer depends on you. It depends on who the person is and it depends on their mindset. But, like, if they're going to do it, you have to have that, like, 百戦錬磨 mitana yaruki. Otherwise, I don't think it's worth the effort, if that makes any sense. Like, why try that hard? Like, why do you need to speak English like at 100%? 80 is good, 90 is good, 50 is not good. Because the other thing that I have noticed is that the Japanese accent is really, really thick, depending on who it is, obviously. So, of course, you can continue to speak English with a Japanese accent, right? I just want to make this very clear to anybody that's listening because it's very okay to communicate in any way that you possibly can as long as you achieve the goal, whatever it is, like if you're on vacation or if foreigners are coming to your town and, I don't know, taking pictures when they're not allowed to, what are you going to do? What are you going to say? So, it just really depends on your level of involvement in this game that we call life. But it also involves your willingness to be involved. So, you know, what are we going to do? Michael, the Japanese accent is easy to understand. Don't be shy. Michael, Michael, Michael. Oh, Michael. I see what you're doing there. So, yeah. I mean, don't be shy, right? But like it's one of those things that you just have to experience, and I'm sure that one day I think that if I am see right now in California, it's going to be like 28 degrees tomorrow. So, I'm happy in California right now, but I'm thinking about going back to Japan in March or April. And when I go back to Japan in March or April, I hope to be doing more meetups with you guys because last time I went, it was kind of fun. I met up with a couple of you and I still remember it. And it was like this, it was, that was a test too. Like this live stream is a test too, right? Like I had no real intentions of doing anything super cool other than just to see if I could share my screen like this. And it's obviously kind of like weird, but like I'll have to look at the other thing. But Jesus, I'll talk about that later because like you guys don't care about the technical details a lot of a live stream. But what I care about is that my videos can get, excuse me, um, like a million views, right? And so one of the problems that I experience personally is how do I manage talking to so many people? Because the only people that I'm really talking to are the people that are learning American English. And that's it. So obviously, when you make a video and everybody sees it, like a million people, and they aren't fully up to speed, I guess, with like the current conversation, because you never know when somebody's going to be joining this conversation, right? It's like, oh yeah, no, I'm not saying American English is number one. Like that's always like a comment. It's like, but it is the only language that I know. So it's the only one I'm going to teach. And it's totally different than the other ones. So, pick a lane, as we say. And once you pick a lane, oh wow, that would be a beautiful card if I was to make another thing. I'd be like, pick a lane, right? Like seriously, I can even do that. Watch this, guys. This is like the magic of the live stream. I can like in real time um pick a lane, like create stuff with you guys. Pretty cool, right? Because like that happened live. Oh yeah, this is not scripted, by the way. Um, そう、日本語の台本もないし、違うか。即興的にちょっと考えてるからよろしくお願いしますね。So let's see here. And I got to change the font. Sorry. All of this, these are all the things that I normally do before filming. So it's like, we edit out all the boring stuff. But basically, pick a lane. Like that is one conversation, right? Like basically, like to anybody that isn't studying American English, it's like, okay, do you want to? No? Okay, well, then yeah, like go watch another channel, like 違うか? Because like I'm like teaching like American English. It's like somebody coming into my classroom and be like, "Why are you teaching?" It's like, but this is my huh? What do you like? Huh? So anyway, sometimes it's confusing to talk to somebody that's not learning American English. Let me just put it like that. Because if you are learning American English, oh, well, then let's keep talking. All right. So anyway, except for those who grew up in the US, have you ever seen Japanese people who speak English as well as native speakers? It's rare, Football 24. To be honest, I saw the video with Bilingual girl, and she interviewed the girl named Hannah, and Hannah's English was really, really amazing. I do remember that, but the video was about bilingual girl, so I didn't make it about Hannah. But anyway, no, like she sounded pretty amazing. So, yeah, pretty cool, right? Like it is possible, is what I'm saying. But when I listened to the interview, she was very serious. Like she was like total, like she did all the right things though. Like even though she lived, I think it was in like Shimane or something like that. So that's like literally no excuses, right? And like she was all like, yeah, but like, you know, I every day, and then like I actively sought out teachers to talk with, right? So, you know, you have to have the right mindset. Like it's possible. It's totally possible. So, California とニューヨークの人は、仲悪いと聞いたことあるんですが、本当ですか？So, it's one of those things like, okay, have you ever had somebody mad at you and they're like giving you this like cold shoulder kind of attitude? And then you're like, yo, bro, what's up? What's going, like, you mad at me or something? And then they have this like story in their head that you did something to them or something. You're like, what? Like, I wasn't even there, man. What are you talking about? Right. That's kind of the feeling is that like I've heard about this like East Coast, West Coast rivalry, but I didn't know there was a problem. And I think a lot of people in Southern California specifically have that kind of like arrogance, where they're just kind of like, what? Were you guys upset with something? Because a lot of people are just kind of busy living their life here in California, if that makes any sense. So, I don't know. It's one of those things that honestly, I would love to go to New York, to be honest. And I would love to actually film there because one, I've never been to New York. Two, I've been to Tokyo, which is a pretty cool city. And so it's like, oh, this is America's number one big city. Well, let's go check it out. Right. And I would love to explore it. I've only been there once. It was right after 9/11. Long story. But yeah, I would like to go as a Californian because like I want to see like what it's like because my friend from California, he was like in New York and he was telling me, yeah, like the New York people like feel there's a different energy with like the California energy. So there's a difference for sure. I wouldn't call it a rivalry, and I wouldn't say it's like nakawari, but there's definitely a different culture over there. One of those kind of like possible reasons, like don't tell anybody. But like I said, 明日の天気予報によると、明日はなんか28度だと思うんですよ。もう、2月ですね。California has like the best winters ever. Like you get like a little rain and it rains a lot. And so it's kind of like there's mudslides and stuff. Yeah, sometimes for sure. Like, floods happen. But weather-wise, let's like the water conversation is another thing because California doesn't have a lot of water, but like we can talk about that later. So it's a problem. But otherwise, the weather in Southern California now is so fucking rad. It's like I see why people get upset on the East Coast. Like if I had to go out in that snow, I would be an upset person. And I don't want to be an upset person. Not as a Californian, although I think that is a part of it. But like for me, every single day, like I have a cup of coffee in the sunshine and I kind of like meditate. And then I like look at my phone and it's like news. And it's like, oh, there's a lot of like things happening out there. Well, what's true? What's not true? Like things like that. And ooh, wow, back down the rabbit hole, right? You guys like this little rabbit hole that we're in? I do too. Kind of fun, right? But anyway, so yeah, the rivalry thing, maybe not, but like the only real way to find out is if I actually go to New York, and I would like to do that. There's the video I was looking for. Cool. Guys, thanks for your comments, by the way. Because like I will eventually get to the video, but seriously, this is like live and it's not scripted. I wanted to make sure two things really, that I gave you guys plenty of attention, and I also give you 100% real English, like no bullshit. Because I swear to God, like, and this is like a deeper conspiracy theory, I swear, but like, um, I just don't believe that the education system is like actually serving you guys. So I just want to share my knowledge and time with you. And if you guys dig it, then cool. Then like let's just like continue to like educate each other together and like talk about things and learn. Um because like I said, I'm like sharing knowledge, right? But I'm not like a teacher. Like I'm senpai. I'm just like you. You know what I mean? I wanted to become bilingual. And so all I did was just mimic real people on TV, like TV shows, movies, internet things that I've seen, kaikoku shite kudasai. It was like a video from like way back in the day. Kaikoku shite kudasai. Anyway, I've seen things, it's funny, it's like cool. Like I like learning another language, but like I wonder if you guys like actually look at the same things that we do as Americans, because like I see like in everybody like making like the English lessons, right? And they're all like noun or something like that. It's like what? Like like 中学生 no okay, I don't want to make fun of anybody, all right? I just find it ridiculous. That's all. Having learned a second language myself, it's like, okay, let's just graduate from lessons. All right. Let's just talk. All right. Let's just get real, as we like to say. And like, oh, do you have a flashcard? It's like, no, honestly, it's your responsibility to, oh, this is a great time to pull out one of my slides. It's a great time because number three, we're not learning from textbooks, we're learning from flashcards. So anything that you don't understand, then make a flashcard. And that's why I have an app where there's a feature where you can make flashcards. All right. Like we can watch a video of that together. It's kind of interesting. But I wanted to watch like real Americans. That was the whole point of this live stream. So, but if you guys do have any questions, please ask and let's talk about it. Cool. Nice. Mike, crew Mike or whatever. So, I've seen people come close. Atsuego and Terosak come really close. That's yeah, close is awesome. To be honest, like, and I don't see this is the thing. Like, I don't know if people really notice the things that I notice, but like Atsuego interviewed somebody, I forget, but the Atsuego was basically correcting her and she's supposedly the native English speaker. And so it's just kind of like, who's telling the truth, right? And so, yeah, Atsuego's really good. And he's so good that he's like correcting the native speaker to her face. I don't mean correcting, but like when you don't know how to say something and you go back, basically, like you have, so, okay, as bilingual people, we all have the dominant language, right? And then we have kind of like the weaker language, right? So like, まあ、じゃあ俺日本語にするね。だって日本語の方が弱いんだよね。頭の中の、だって第二言語で考えてるから。でも今即興的に考えると、まあこんな感じになっちゃうんですね。なんかいいかどうかわかんないし、でもまあ喋れるっていう勇気ありますね。違うか。But so obviously though, that's my weaker language. And obviously, the stronger language is this one that I'm doing now, where I don't ever have any doubts of like, how do I say this? How do I not say this or whatever? It's just kind of like subconscious expression of all of the knowledge that's contained inside of my head. And so I don't think about it too much. I don't want to think about it too much. I don't want anybody to think about it too much because, like, basically, all of this isn't really going into your conscious mind anyway. It's going into your subconscious mind. So, like, try not to think too deeply about too many things that you don't understand, other than like just find the word that you didn't understand and make a flashcard and study it later. And like, do it by yourself too. Because you don't want to embarrass yourself, right? Like, what she not narimasen. That's the. It was like, there's 言いにくい日本語があるよ。量とか流とかさ。でも量とか料理言いにくいねみたいな、なんかもっと言いやすい方法ありますかみたいな。いや、もう料理を料理みたいな。飯どうみたいな。あ、じゃあ飯食いたいなみたいな。何料理まあ、何飯そうだね。まあ、料理どうしても、なんか、料理言わないと、みたいなね。だから、まあ、しょうがないな。料理を練習しましょう。料理みたいな。なんか言いにくいんだよ。100回ぐらい言うんだけど。So I practice, and 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 I practice. Like, that's all you got to do. And so the Japanese is not that bad. But yeah, I understand why it's harder for you guys. 100%. I like totally, absolutely understand why it is so hard for you guys to like learn English. And I get it. I like actually empathize with the struggle because I used to too. I think that like while you guys were in high school, you were busy like with like yakubu or tennisbu or whatever, studying for TOEFL or whatever. I didn't really have like much of a social life when I was a high school exchange student. So I joined like basketball, right? And so yeah, it's like, oh, I'm making some friends, but that's a whole other story of like I was so aware of my Japanese level for so long that I don't it's not that I don't care, but I'm good with it, if that makes any sense. So if you listen to Atsu Eigo, yeah, he's good. He's great. And so you guys should totally listen to how he studied. But I will say that even he listened to native speakers and mimic them. So at the end of the day, we do have to expose ourselves to real people, right? Not just teachers. And that's why I say, 1000 より1000人ね. So not me, not Atsuego. Let's listen to like real people, right? So let's get out there. And so Hana, she's a girl on the bilingual の動画に出てきた花さんっていう、まあ、なんか、I don't know the name of the video or something, but I saw it. Basically, I could share the link later or something like that. Or you just go to thatトップ、なんか英語系 YouTuber のトップ10みたいなね、そっちの動画に出てると思うんですね、花。But, バイリンガールの、英語に集中してたから、なんか花さんのあれがコメントとかないからね、もう my gosh, it's like, do people know as much as I do? Like, how much YouTube am I watching, right? Like, I've seen so many, like, videos about, like, famous people speaking English. It's like, I've heard everybody, alright? Like, literally, it's like the other day no, the other month, what am I talking about? There was the, Shogun, was, like, really popular in America, and, like, Anna Sawai, she was impressive, like, in the show, right? But, like, it's just I found out, like, she speaks English. I was like, "Oh, who is this person?" But apparently she's not that famous in Japan either, so it's like, what's going on? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel kind of, like, out of touch with, like, the whole Japanese system since I'm not living in Japan right now. Um, but yeah, like, I pretty much have listened to everybody, and it's like, I know that guys, like, you gotta understand, especially if we talk about the other YouTubers, which I'm not gonna, but there's a lot of, fluff, if that makes any sense, in the whole education industry, and I think that's why, like, I try not to waste anybody's time is because, like, there's so much kind of BS going on out there, and I don't know who I'm talking to at any given moment. So I'm like, "Oh, am I talking to, like, a beginner, or am I talking to somebody that, like, actually speaks English?" Right? Or somebody in between, right? And so if I'm gonna, like, be honest with you, I don't think like, "Oh, I need to talk slowly so everybody understands me." No, I'm just gonna talk, and it's like, you guys, like, need to, like, let me know. You need to communicate if you don't understand or if you do understand, right? Because, like, what I'm giving you is without a doubt the purest native English that one could possibly listen to. Um, Especially when, like, I'm not acting like I speak English for sure, right? And anything that you hear is definitely I okay, because like, some of the other YouTubers, they kind of, like, code switch a lot, and I there's nothing wrong with code switching, in the sense that, like, we're all friends, right? But just cognitively, it's fascinating, but it's something that native speakers don't do, if that makes any sense. So, like, I could go into a whole long story about this, but, like, code switching is, like, indication of, like, "Oh, wow, that's really interesting," because it's like you said something that you couldn't say, and so your brain just switches to the other language, and you do it so often, you're not even aware of it, and is that healthy? Is that not healthy? I don't know. Like, we can all talk about it, right? But there's definitely something to it that's like, okay, but is that a good pattern to repeat? Because, like, I mean, I had a friend and she went to international school. So, in Tokyo, and she just said that her and all her friends just code switched all day. And so she can't really speak English and she can't really speak Japanese. So, it's like, okay, I get that. I totally get it. Because if you're talking with bilingual people, then, like, nobody cares, right? So all our issues basically are when we talk to monolingual people and their ability to understand what we're saying and their willingness to, like, understand what we're saying. So, who's at fault? Well, I would just say whoever's willing to be open to the conversation is not at fault. And we're on the same page. So let's keep going. Right? What club is us? 바스케부, 바스게, 바스케, 바스케, 바스게, 바스케, 바스케부. すいません。発音悪い。バスケ部、バスケットボール、なんだっけ、東舞鶴高等学校2年5組の、国際理解部。違うか。Yeah, basketball. Yeah. So anyway, let's do this. I wanted to look at this video and I was already looking at it the other day. So let's just listen to this guy. If you guys don't know who he is, then do I have to explain that?
Here, I waited a little too long. Here, I probably should. And it's just like brutal because if I had known these things, I'd be way further along. But I mean, that's just how you learn. You just gotta make 10,000 mistakes.
Every finder says the same. Every finder I spoke to says the same. That unknown unknowns.
Exactly. And it's just like, so that's where, I mean, my big thing recently has just been trying to find people who have successfully scaled businesses and like bring them into my organization and learn from them, because I'm just so tired of like being like, fuck, I should have known better, but I didn't because I've never done this before. And so I'm trying to find a lot of great people who have been through it so they can like kind of mentor me along the way so I make less mistakes, which has been really good. We brought in a new C-suite recently. It's like always a hard balance because I try not to, in the past, I've like, you know, decisions are kind of like pendulums, and I have a problem where I'll identify something and I'll overcorrect the pendulum one way, and I'm like, oh, no, I should have just stopped in the middle. And like my overcorrection in the past was like corporate people try to build too many systems and they kill innovation, and so I was very anti like people with too much corporate experience because they're going to just destroy all the creativity. But you know, that's why we're making so many organizational fuck ups, because we don't have anyone who's actually built the business at this size. And so, you know, the pendulum was on the right and I swung it all the way to the left of no corporate. And now I think we're in the healthy medium where, you know, obviously the people in our C-suite and the leaders should have lots of experience managing people at this size and scale, but it's just finding the right people who can do it and build systems in a way where it doesn't crush creativity and they actually value the product over ease.
Holy shit. So did you guys understand that? one of the craziest things that because I spent a few years working at a corporate English school, and I learned a lot. I really learned a lot. Like I learned, oh my god, because that's when I developed my course. And if you guys want to check out my course, you can see the link. It's like LNR English or a special, or you can watch my 3-step system. But like basically, yeah, working at the corporate schools, I learned so much. It was kind of annoying to say the least. But you learn a few things and you learn where, just like Mr. Beast was saying, that like they kind of stifle creativity. And so my problem with Eikaiwa corporations and the whole learning English thing was basically just summed up by this young gentleman right here. And I really appreciate his dedication to his truth, and his truth is based on his analytics, and his analytics like don't lie, I guess, because like he tells people how to make better videos and he explains how to make better videos, and like I like watch his advice. I'm like, oh, maybe I can make a better video, and then I like listen to his advice and then I make a video and it does better. I'm like, oh wow, Mr. Beast really does know what he's talking about. So whenever Beast talks about anything, I totally listen because he's a YouTuber, I'm a YouTuber, and it's like, oh, I can literally learn, right? And so whatever he says, I listen to. It's just that, yeah, corporate kind of like thinking is definitely kind of like not my specialty, to say the least. Like literally the creative genius slash idiot behind this little color system that you see. Like we can talk about that story if you want, but like it's been very hard to, you know, really share an idea about an easy system to understand sound, right? But like I don't want to get too sidetracked, if you know what I mean. This experience, this whole life experience is all about sharing the actual real deal, real time, unscripted English as I understand it in my brain right now. So I do appreciate you guys' time. Thank you for listening. I have an impression that actors like very much money. Okay, football 24. Good question. I lived in Hollywood for a few years. I met a few people. it is hard to get into Hollywood. It is hard to become an actor. It really is. And those that make it, if you're smart with your money, like, you never have to work again, right? But you still have to like make new content if you want to stay relevant. And when have you really made it? And there's like a lot of questions going around these days, like people that have retired but they basically come back and make something, like, so it's a complicated question for even those who have made it. But the ones that are trying to make it, yeah, it's tough. I know people. And I was like a actor in Tokyo, right? So I was in movies, I was in music videos. I mean, I it's not like I'm bragging, right? But like if I say it, I just want to show like that it's true that I was in something. Like let's just see this. I think I'll find it. Oh, it's right there. Probably recently saw it. So yeah. When I was living in Tokyo, I got this audition. No, I didn't get the audition. This was I just got the part. They wanted somebody that looked like a heavy metal rock and roller. And I think as you watch the video, you will identify that I do indeed look like heavy metal rock and roller. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. So awesome. Fuck yeah. That was so cool. And I was a part of it. I was so happy to be a part of it. I went to that cave. We shot down there. A few different stories. Generators. I remember the generators. Oh yeah, look at that. Acting. So anyway, yeah, no, this really happened. Okay. So it's hard, all right? Yeah, even in Japan or in America for sure. I don't know how everybody has like a side job or something like that, like waiter or something like that. And I knew quite a few people that were hustling, going to auditions, uh, sending in tapes for casting and stuff like that. And then they were doing their part-time jobs. So anybody that was like legitimately famous didn't live where I lived. So there's like kind of like an invisible wall, I guess. Like, well, it's not a wall, it's just the hills. Like if you go into the hills, that's where like people literally live, But like if you're down in the flat part, depends on what building, like anyway, I don't want to get like too Hollywood with you guys, but it was a fun time. But like I just realized that I had no real what's the word, purpose in Hollywood, that I just didn't see it at the time, basically. So yeah, I'd rather travel the world, right? So anyway, that's a really interesting story because like I think that like I totally could have done something like with anybody that wanted to promote something in Japan, but like there's only so many things I can do. Like, as a YouTuber, right? Like I'm thinking about making videos or maybe doing like a live webinar or something like that. Oh, that's right. I'm making an app. Oh, that's right. I could probably write a book if I just like did it. You know what I mean? But like then I have to find a publisher. There's so many things that you got to think about when you like have a message that you want to share with people that it's overwhelming, to be honest. And I just got to focus on the thing that I know what I can do best. And that is definitely just kind of like rambling about things that totally make sense to people on the inside of this little conversation that we got going here. But I don't even know how many people are here because, like I told you, I didn't want to. Back to the rabbit hole. So amazing. Amazing. And there's 6 of you. You guys are so sweet. Thank you so much for bearing with this amazing display of technology and whatnot. But like I said, I wanted to give more time to people. Ooh, look at that. Like the arrows going up and down, like through all possibilities, right? But like you can see that the causation is caused by my hand because like something has to happen first and everything else is just delayed, right? So if you think about it, like, are you guys seeing everything as it's happening now? Or are you guys seeing nothing but the reflection? So, whoa, like you can see the timer too, like the time. Like there's a delay. Wow. Trippy. All right. So anyway, let's not get caught in the details of that. But basically, yeah, I just wanted to test this little sharing the screen thing. Oh, it's like, do you guys want to talk about what's happening in America? Here. Okay, we're gonna do it because like I've seen this guy before.
The anti-Semites, on the other hand, have the right to play. They even like to play with discourse by giving ridiculous reasons. They discredit their seriousness of their interlocutors. They delight in the acting in bad faith, since they seek not to persuade by sound argument, but to intimidate and disconcert. If you press them too closely, they will abruptly fall silent, loftily indicating by some phrase that the time for argument is past.
What is going on? Okay, if you guys are following the news in America, I don't know if you are or not.
Movement. My heart goes out to all of you.
Yo, this shit ain't cute, man. It's not. It's not cute at all. I don't know why people are like, yeah, what are you gonna do about it? It's wild how quickly it is wild how quickly this shit spreads. Okay? When the age of lean in means being a Nazi, yeah, Bannon did it too. Steve Bannon did it as well. Like Elon Musk hitting it unironically made it permissible. Like it made it so that you do that. It's important. Check my logs, please. I'm willing to bet it's not important. And if it's not important, I'm going to ban you. In Mexico, is the Sieg normal? And they do it at inaugurations and stuff. Scheinbaum, the best girl, he did it. Wait, what? I think this person doing it after saying my heart goes out to you like this is directly a nod to Elon Musk. Okay? 100%. This part.
All right. So anyway, like that's one of the things. Yeah, and Michael, yeah, he is bilingual in Turkish too, right? I don't even think he was born in America. I could be wrong, but yeah, this is why I say listen to like 1,000 people because you hear perspectives or whatever, and this guy is kind of amazing in his ability to process all of the news and kind of like keep spitting it out. And I look at it, I'm like, okay, you're obviously contemplating different conversations and dialogues with all these people and like keeping to the point, I guess is one of like the most important things, but also too, sharing message and searching for truth, I think is one way to put this. And I actually share this kind of like feeling because like when I do my teaching or whatever you want to call it, it's kind of like I feel like a lot of Japanese people have been misled by corporate teachers. So, and the corporate teachers, obviously, those companies came out of it, were born out of a need because how do you say, public school teachers definitely weren't doing the job. I would know. I went to a Japanese high school. I know. I went to English class. I know what you guys did. I know what you guys studied. I know how you studied. And I know why you don't speak English. Trust me. A, B, C. Yeah, Hassan. So he learned English as a second language. Wow. See, there you go. So there you go. That was who was that? Football 23 or 23, 24, hike. you were asking about something like that, but I think he came like as a kid or something like that. I think he came like in high school or something like that. And so, like, one of the real kind of like magic points with learning a second language is around the teenage years, early teenage years, 10 to 18. I would say that's actually the magic window. Um, and there's only like a few of you here, so I'm just going to share it with you. But basically, if you listen to the difference between chica, bilingual girl chica, I'm sorry, bilingual girl, and the difference between her and Kevin, um, I would say that Kevin is actually Kikoku Shijo, because he came back to Japan in junior high school, whereas Chika, I think, stayed in America through high school, and you can hear the difference. Basically, is what I'm saying. I haven't made that video yet. It's like so many people get like butt hurt, and like I don't want to butt hurt people, but like I'm just pointing things out. That's it. That is it. And Hassan, if you listen to his English, I I I couldn't tell you that he was born in Turkey. He sounds like he's born in America. So that's just another kind of like what do you call it? Like you got to at a young age you have to kind of like learn this stuff basically. But do you have the ability to learn and become fluent even after your teenage years? That's the real question. And we're just going to have to prove it, right? Yeah. So as a second language, know it. Yeah, exactly. Nobody would know that he's native. So, yeah, like this video in particular, honestly, because like this is the problem with America right now is that there's things happening and I don't know what you know and I don't know what I know. And I'm like kind of keeping an eye on everything. But by this point, there's a movie actually. Maybe you guys should see it. Reality winner. So there's this movie that came out recently, and it's pretty amazing. And I guess it's real. That's the crazy thing is there's this story that I didn't know about America. And holy shit, I didn't know. Here, let's just watch the trailer, see if you guys can see if it makes any sense to you. Because it's like, I don't know what you guys know about America. So let's see this. After we skip the ad, obviously.
When I was a little girl.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What is going on? To some folks, trying to understand both sides of a conflict is un-American. Trust me, y'all, I'm as American as it gets. My name is Reality Winner. Yeah, it's my real name.
The truth is, whoever the bad guys are, okay, once you spend some time with them, learn their ways.
Gab's a dad, that's a bonus. I want to help people displaced by war.
You know what stops wars? The U.S. Air Force.
Sorry, dude. I'm going to A&M. So I joined the Air Force. Really?
The joke, right?
Boot camp starts the day after I graduate.
Okay. I don't like spoiling movies for anybody. So that's enough. You guys should watch this movie. It was really informative. It was really eye-opening, as they say. And there's a story. Well, this is a movie. I thought it was like a fiction when I clicked it. I thought it was a comedy when I clicked it based on the thumbnail because Zach Galifianakis is kind of like a comedian, right? But apparently it's a real story. So I don't know what you guys know about America, and it's going to be impossible to talk about America unless I know what you guys know about it. But like, there's crazy things happening right now. And it's like every day you see a new news story, and it's like, well, what is really happening? And it's almost too much, to be honest. And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole right now because it's such a deep rabbit hole if you really think about it. Like, I mean, have you guys see? Because it really gets into like, who do you trust? And this is why I'm kind of doing what I'm doing, because there's two things coming: AI and a possible revolution, if that makes any sense. So, depending on what happens with either, I want to be prepared in the best way possible. And one of the best things that I think that I can do is just provide my face and my voice to this conversation for as many people as possible if they're willing to listen, because like I think it's really important that we know what the truth is about what's going on everywhere and inside of our own heads, if that makes any sense. So basically, I really think that learning English is more than just learning words. Obviously, we're actually trying to communicate something, but do we really? I mean, oh my God,
Do you believe that Black Lives Matter?
of course.
Yes.
Go on with your bad self.
Talking about the organization? What are you talking about? You.
Are you tired of being called the female Ben Shapiro? All right. Would you ever be a stay-at-home mom?
Yes.
How many kids do you want?
3 or 4.
Good number.
They're trying to find out if she's lying, right?
What do I want?
Do you think Trump should call it quits?
Yes.
All right.
I guess from 2024. Let's go.
Wow. Yeah. So this is exactly what I was saying, is that like basically the search for truth these days is kind of like hard because like who's talking about what? And oh, well, this is probably true. California. Oh, see, this is the kind of show that I really want to do. All right, we're going to watch this. Remember, we're trying to listen to as many people as possible. All right. And there is no structure to this because this was a test. I didn't plan on doing this today. I mean, I did, but not like seriously.
You're going in. I'm trying to. I want to do it right. Yeah, that's getting there. That's roasted habanero.
Yeah.
Getting spicy, huh?
We're simmering here a little bit on set, but it's getting fun. It's getting
Yeah.
fun, baby.
Okay.
So, do you think being a creator, showrunner, writer, do you think that's made you an easier actor to work with, or do you think it's created a monster that has to pop the hood on everything that comes to their trailer?
A little bit of both. I think what it's definitely made me, and Caitlin really has curved this with me. I'm not a great person to watch stuff with, I think, sometimes, because I'm not trying to ruin things. I'm trying to figure out how and why people made certain decisions. You do this for long enough and you realize like, oh, that would be the most effective way to manipulate this situation or tell this story. And I wouldn't consider myself an actor first. And I think anybody who's ever seen anything that I've acted in would agree. I think I'm a writer first. And so the really great actors, the ones that can just be so vulnerable and open themselves up and be weird and be okay with like, it takes a special breed to be like a really, really amazingly effective actor. And so I have so much compassion for them and I love them. And there's always a certain way you have to approach things with them.
Wow. So this guy, he's starring in a show that I've been watching recently, And I really like this show. It's funny. It's about a how do you say, a game company, and it's a really funny show. And you guys should see it. What's that? ISIP? What's that? I don't understand ISIP. So what's the actually? Maybe it was this. Maybe this was a funny part. Here, let's watch this. This is the show it comes from. Okay.
Hey, Puppy!
What are you doing?
Good news. I have turned the shovel into a weapon. So now it's a dual purpose. This is something that people are going to buy. Check this out. It's not quite right, but I'm close. I'm not sure if it's like if it should be a depth. Maybe it's an uppercut motion.
Yeah, no, I don't want the shovel to kill people. I just want it to dig.
Dig. Do you have any idea what the TTP on an item like this is going to be?
Yeah, it's gonna
So,
be.
TTP, guys, is time to penis. It's the time it takes for a player to use a new item to make a penis.
Yes, I know what TTP is.
Yeah, David, stop mansplaining.
They're not gonna make digs.
You give the public a shovel, they dig dicks. You give them a pen, they draw dicks. You give them some clay.
Definitely gonna sculpt dicks.
Ian, would you please tell my assistant to get into the booth?
Oh, I don't tell women what to do. I want them to make their own choices.
Thank you.
Yeah, so
And they're not gonna turn them into digs. I'm gonna actually put a limiter on it so they can't.
Shovel with rules. That's really cool.
yeah, let's put as many rules in the game as we can. That's super fun.
Can you tell it?
Anyway, that was a good show, and you guys should see it. And that guy was a funny actor, so that's why I was watching that. Yeah, see, I don't know what you guys actually
This is not
watch or listen to. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not that really connected with Japanese culture right now. All I can see is what I see through the internet. And like anytime that I'm like, oh, I got to make a video or something, it's always kind of like, well, that, I got to make a video about like American English. So I'm always kind of working, if you know what I mean. But oh my gosh, there's so many things that you guys got to be listening to that I don't even share. I don't even talk about because it's like I don't even know where to start. You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, you haven't seen this? Well, have you seen this? But have you seen this? Have you seen these are such great and funny things to watch. Like and like a lot of people watch it and then you become part of the conversation when you like start watching these shows. And so then you have like these actors that you like, oh, he's funny in that show, I'll watch him in that show. And like we all have like this kind of like curiosity about like actors and actresses and whatever. But it's like, well, what else do you know? There's so many people out there, there's so many shows out there. Like, why don't you give something a shot? Why don't you give something new a shot? And from what I can tell, like what Japan thinks about like American culture is just like so, you know, this, I think. So little. I think that's little. Yeah, but Michael here, he seems to be so すいません. Mike when I first learned Japanese, my Japanese for Everybody textbook had a character called Maikeru. And I was just kind of like always like, it's Michael, but like you can't just say Michael because it's Maikeru. And I guess that kind of reminds me of my own name. I don't know if anybody's heard this story or not, but my name's Kyle, and it's like it's not Kaeru, it's Kyle. So basically, we just cut off the L and just keep the Kai. So that's why I'm Kai Senpai. Anyway, so I changed it. Yeah, see, yeah. I mean, I know, Michelle, what you're saying. It's kind of hard to get people to read your name right, but that's why I was just kind of saying with my name that like, Kaeru janayo. Like it's just kind of, you get fed up basically is the feeling, but what are you going to do? Like have an impromptu pronunciation lesson on the street. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, you know what? We're just going to put that down and we're just going to make this simple for everybody. Kai to moshimasu. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. So, yeah, like, that's why I say, I don't know who I'm dealing with. Don't know if this is a lesson. Don't know if we're just talking. But I can tell you, if somebody can say my name, I know I'm not having a lesson. You know what I mean? And if that's the case, then we can just kind of like talk normally, like normal people do. But it's like, oh, you can't say my name. Okay, well, um, let me talk about some lesson kind of things because, like, there's some fundamentals that everybody kind of knows. And one of those things is sound. And one of the sounds that we kind of like make in American English is the ol sound, the gray L, as I like to call it, because it's got a gray L shape. Oh, look, I could come over here and I can actually make the gray L if I wanted to. Oh, pickle lane. That wouldn't be it, but like the gray L. So maybe I could write my name. That'd be fun. Why not? We're doing this live. So Kyle, and then I come over here, and then I come over here. Like you guys gotta watch it. You guys know my color system, right? So watch this. I'm so fast. I can go like this, and then format, and I go over here. All my colors are like right here, and I go like this. Ready? I go Kai, and then I go Ol, which is this one right here, and then I go E. I have to like hand paint it for the slides because the app doesn't do it. The app only does it in the app. So anyway, there I just colored Kyle like that. I go Mr. Kyle, and then we go mi, which is the orange, right? And then a T, Mr. So that's not a D. So we leave it as it is. We don't say the E, and then we come over here with this gray R right here, this gray R, Mr. Right? So Mr. Kyle, that sounds kind of American to me. What do you think, right? But if nobody calls me Mr. Kyle because I don't know, Mr. and Kyle, kind of hard L's and R's to say. So I try to avoid the L, but that's how you do say it. Just telling all y'all the truth. You know what I mean? So, of course you can, Michael. Your name's Michael. That's why you can say my name because your name's Michael. Michael can say Kyle and Kyle can say Michael. Duh. So yeah, that's what I think is Japanese. I like your color system too. Thank you so much. Tell me a thing or two about Japanese. Oh yeah, don't listen to me about Japanese though, please. I like last person. Like, oh no, there's 100 million people you could talk to about Japanese with that probably know something way more authentic than I do. I just know stuff, but like don't trust me. That's like one of the main reasons why I don't teach about Japan in English is because like what do I know, you know? But I also do know that a lot of Japanese people have trouble communicating with foreigners. So it's like, who's gonna make the effort? Who's gonna get out there and kind of like learn something? Is it you guys going to be learning English in our culture, or is it going to be us, whoever us is, because obviously all foreigners are not the same, but is it going to be us, quote unquote us, learning your culture? And so somewhere in the middle we all meet, as they say. And I, for the sake of this lesson, I'm just inviting you guys to come over to the American side as much as I can. I remember meeting exchange students here in California, and they always said they had a hard time making American friends. And they ended up making friends with like other international students. And I know that's a real thing, and I get it. And I know that like a lot of people don't spend quality time with like a real Californian. And that's something that I wish that I could somehow replicate for you guys. But like, short of like, if I did a live stream with my friend, like, for example, I have like my best friend, he actually is the president of a cigar company. So like, I could do a live stream with me and my friend, and we can have a conversation in California English, and we can like like have a conversation over cigars, and he can tell us about his cigar company or something like that, right? And we can have like this real experience, right? But like, I don't know, are you guys interested in cigars? He's an interesting guy, you know what I mean? Like, how deep are we going to go? And one of the things that I really think about is kind of like, well, one, my private life, and two, my public life. And I keep my private life pretty much to myself, right? I don't share too much. And, with the work, I'm just trying to do the thing that gets as many people to pay attention as possible without seeming too extravagant, if you know what I mean. So it's always this kind of balance of like, well, honestly, who is looking up Kai Senpai as like a keyword, right? Nobody. Well, okay, I'm lying. A few people do, but it's not a lot. And how many people are looking up, like McKinney? And yeah, obviously more people are interested in McKinney because he's got like big muscles, right? Like I get it, like I haven't been able to go to the gym like ever since I got hit by a car. Like my back, like I went to the gym after I got hit by a car. I was like, oh, I can't do these kind of like what do you call it? Bench presses, like maybe I'll take a break from the gym, like misery, ow, it hurts. But like, like getting hit by a car, like nobody wants to get hit by a car, right? But nobody wants to be in pain either. But like, when you got to go to the chiropractor and they got to pop it and whatever. So it's just kind of like, man, I want to have big muscles too, like McKinney, but like maybe next month. I'm going to the chiropractor. I'll figure it out. Like after the chiropractor heals my back, then I'll be able to go back to the gym. Maybe, possibly, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so who do you want to hang out with and talk with? How real do we want to get? And when I make if I make something like this kind of live stream, it is an attempt to be more sharing, I guess, right? And it's just a matter of finding the right balance of, I don't know, private and business. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, what I really think about is the benefit that you guys would get if you see one of my videos. And that's why I try to kind of like make these videos with, famous people, because like that, all the people that, oh, who's this famous person, right? But then I know that people hear it like, oh, why are you being so mean? And like, it's like, well, okay, but like, I think a lot of it comes like on the other YouTube video, like YouTubers, right? And it's like, okay, they're teaching English. So am I. If you want to listen to them, go ahead. And if you want to listen to me, go ahead. But when I say certain things, like, the pronunciation is off, if I say certain things like, hey, code switching for simple words, that's like, I think for a lot of the criticisms that I get, I think they would be 100% if like I was teaching Japanese. If I was teaching Japanese, I would look pretty ridiculous, I think. But I'm not teaching Japanese because I couldn't teach Japanese. Like I look at the other YouTubers like Dogen, the Japanese speaking one, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, I can't talk like that, but I don't want to. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Or I'm not even conscious of like my Japanese like that, but like I don't want to teach Japanese, that's for sure. So, Michael is sunny in Philadelphia. Yeah, Japanese stream is very many. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, and you guys think, oh yeah. And then there sounds mind blow. I don't know either. But when he says, how many sounds does A make? Oh, well, Michael, thank you. Like look, my dream. Like, how many sounds does the letter A make? that would be a series that will never end because nobody knows the answer. And if I say 1 equals, and you're like, 1? It's like, yeah, basic math, right? And if I say like a red light, driving in a car, red light means stop, right? Like so simple, right? Like basics, right? Basics of driving a car. Red means stop. So if I go to the basics of English and I say, well, how many sounds does the letter A make? People legitimately do not understand their own language. And I find that fascinating. I find that absolutely fascinating that I can go to any native English speaker and guaranteed 1 in 1,000 would probably be able to answer it, if not 1 in 10,000. Like it's that, and this is basic English, right? Like you don't even know your own alphabet. So that's why I have my system. Like, guys, you need to know the sounds. Like, how could you not? How could you not speak a language and not know the sounds? And that's the big rub is that basically letters are like the shadow of the invisible. I hope I blew some minds there, right? But like everything that I'm saying is like invisible, right? And so it's impossible to see. Literally. Like you can't see it and you never will. But us clever humans encoded sounds into visual symbols. The problem with education is that we're too caught up in the visual symbols. And they literally, visual symbols go to a different part of the brain. You know, things that go in your eyes go over here, and things that go in your ears go over here. Like literally different brain function. So the only way you're going to get better conversational is to expose yourself to like the actual sounds as they're being said by real people in real time, kind of like we're doing right now. So like, and you need to do it for hours a day, at least 15 minutes. Like, I mean, come on. But like, you need to be having conversations with friends or colleagues. You need to be getting deep about this or that, you know, like if like we were going to be talking about YouTube, then we would start to talk about like click-through rates and stuff like that. And like we get really serious about like talking about YouTube. And like I can talk about like all the different videos that I've been watching about learning YouTube because that's what I'm into. I want to really learn how to do this and make it better. And so I'm like watching this guy. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. Maybe I should do that. And I'm watching this guy. Maybe I should do this. Maybe because you learn by mimicking. And so by mimicking like people that are like doing what we want, you know, that's how we create heroes, right? You're like, oh, if Mr. Beast can do it, I can do it, right? And I think what happens with a lot of Japanese learners is like, oh, well, that Japanese person did it, I can do it, right? But the thing, the trip, like the whole cosmic joke is that we're all human. It doesn't matter, like if like I'm like an American and you're a Japanese person, you know? We all have the same abilities, basically. Like, you know, unless you're colorblind, unless you're deaf, you know, unless you're on the spectrum or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, most of us have 2 ears and a brain, and that's more than enough, you know? Like, I didn't have the internet when I learned Japanese. I didn't have an iPhone. I didn't have an app. I didn't have AI. I didn't have Zoom calls. I didn't have fucking YouTube. I had 1,000 people living in Maizuru teach me Japanese. Any questions? You know? Like, what kind of like, to what extent are we going to avoid human contact? You know? And so that's why I think it's really important that I learn how to do this in a better way, because like I can't imagine watching AI generated content. And I can see people watching computer generated content, and I think that's kind of sad, to be honest. So like when I'm on YouTube, I really do resonate with people that sit here and actually talk, because I can just sense the realness of it, right? Sorry about the green background. I am kind of thinking about like doing live stream, but kind of not. So it doesn't matter, I know, but like having a sense of realism is good. So there's no fake background. I mean, this is just the background that I use for my videos, right? But I want to create a sense of realness with you guys, and I want to create a sense of like trust. That's it. So from that, if you learn anything, great. Because it's like everything I say is gold as far as I'm concerned. No, like I'm just saying, like, this is like pure motherfucking English, right? Like, and yeah, there's a lot of it out there if you watch a movie, if you watch a show, right? But this is, you can interact with this, right? You can interact with me. I have methods in which you can contact me if you wanted to. I can collaborate with people. I've just been very introverted. I can understand why other YouTubers don't want to collaborate with me, if that makes any sense. So there's no hard feelings at all. Like, I just see everybody is in their own lane and they're doing what they're going to do, and that's cool. And I don't want to be dependent on getting like, oh, I got to get like some collaboration. I mean, maybe not. Just depends on that collaboration. You know what I mean? But I'm not opposed to it. I just, if I'm going to do it, I want to make something good. You know what I mean? Because like you go to that video about like how many sounds does the letter A make, right? That took like a month, over a month to make, just because one, I'm stupid, and two, like I hadn't done it before, and the street interviews with this new camera that I got, and I was just like, oh, how am I going to do it? And like just took time, you know, and like to edit and like, so anyway, and then, you know, like I make that video, but like only a few thousand people see it. And I'm like, oh, just a few thousand. It didn't do good. I know, it's crazy. Like, I would love to do it more, you know, because it's fun to go out in the street and talk to people, make people laugh and stuff like that. Like, it's great. Um, but I'm not going to do it if there's no meaning. You know what I mean? Like, if nobody's going to watch it, then I'm not going to do it. And like, oh, but you know, 5,000 people saw it. You know, I was like, yeah, 5,000 people. Sorry. Like, it's basically like in 10 minutes, how many people can watch a video? And millions of people can watch one of my videos, and millions of people have watched one of my videos. But I know that like whenever I do like a lesson, nobody watches it. I did the Mr. Beast video, nobody watched it. I do it like a live stream like this. And now like the live stream's like one thing, because like I recognize that the time is like still early in Japan. Like I think that most people hop on to the internet like at nighttime. And I think in Japan it's still like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. And the big problem is that right now in California, it's about 8:30, 8:35 at night. And what happens is I get tired and I'd rather just like go to bed. after eating and watching TV or something. So it's really hard for me to do a live stream when everybody else is online. So I'll do my best, but I think what's going to happen is that hopefully in March or April, we'll see. It depends on a few things because right now, like I think I said earlier, it's going to be 28 degrees tomorrow or something like that, and that is awesome. Um, like, I just don't like going into the cold weather. So like, why go into the cold weather if I don't? Okay, so tomorrow is going to be 23. すいませんね. Wednesday is going to be 27 degrees. すいません. So basically, yeah, tomorrow is going to be 23 degrees. 23 degrees, mind you, is perfect weather. So in the meantime, in California, Southern California, we're experiencing perfect weather. Perfect. Sunny, 23 degrees. Right next to the beach. The beach is a mile away, 2 miles away. I'm in a good location for now. But the time difference between California and Japan is just too abrasive, if that makes any sense. 23 degrees Fahrenheit, right? I'm talking 23 degrees centigrade. 23 degrees centigrade versus 23 Fahrenheit. That's funny. I'm going to put that. 23 versus 23 C versus 23 F. Big difference. And that is why I'm in California. Honestly. I went to Korea last year. I went to Seoul in the wintertime, February, and it got to like minus 10 Celsius. And that was pretty devastating. I survived, but I had like 3 jackets, like literally like a down jacket and another jacket and then a down jacket over that. Yeah, it was cold, but like I said, I survived. So, but like I just don't see any reason why anybody should be doing that at all. So, I think this is a good time for me to wrap it up because, like I said, it's getting late. And what I want to do is just kind of basically look at the analytics of everything, see what people really like. I mean, me and Michael had a cool conversation, and the other people in here, I mean, you listen, and me and Football 24, awesome, way to go. I think what's going to happen is I'm going to do another live stream, but I'll try to do the screen sharing thing. I'll try to figure that out because this is kind of ridiculous and like kind of funny, the rabbit hole that we're in right now. And basically, I'll probably email everybody. If you guys do want to learn with me, you can go over and watch my real, how do you say, 3-step system. And I will get into the habit of sharing it because you never know who needs help, right? You never know who's just like, man, I really need advice. Kai senpai, can you help me with some advice? And I could be like, yeah, totally. Like, check this out. So yeah, I think I'm sharing a link here. That link is just to my 3-step system. You'll get a cunning paper. You'll get a cheat sheet. カニングペーパーとチートシートの違いは何ですかみたいな。Well, カニングペーパーって、it's a cheat sheet. So that's just what we call it. All right. So anyway, that has like a bunch of like the, what are you going to do? When you wake up, those contraction patterns. And I talk about those in my videos all the time. So you can get that little PDF download and check it out because it's like super cool. And then also like I send you the link to my free app you could check out. Total kind of like, I didn't really realize this, but over 14,000 people have downloaded the app. That's a lot of people. So get in there, put in your email. I'll send you some emails. I think I send out like how to talk more like a Californian in like 11 or 21 days. I forget. So like there's all this stuff that I'm like given to you guys. So go out there and get it. And all you got to do is get it all at the you sign up. Basically, 会後輩になりたかったら、どうぞ登録してください。And I'm like trying my best to like speak English because like もちろん日本語で説明してもいいんだけどみたいなね、登録してくださいみたいなね、俺の3ステップとか聞いてくださいねみたいなね、日本語で言っても全然大丈夫ですけれども、I'm trying to give you guys English, you know what I mean? Like it's such a like I swear to God, when I watch other YouTubers and I watch the amount of Japanese that they say in their English lesson, I'm just like, oh my God. When I learned Japanese, I had like, I had two good books, Japanese for Everyone. And like the first chapter, they had like the opening dialogue and they had a tape that you can listen to. And I was like, oh, Michael to moshimasu. Dozo yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Michael-san, こちらです. Right? Like I can't remember everything, but like it was all like slow. ですます恐れ入ります and like I learned a lot, but like by chapter 4-3 it was like ローマ字なしねひらがな漢字勉強しないと right? And so it's kind of like you gotta like sink or swim, and like I was like, all right, cool, let's learn Japanese. I think that was like one of the greatest things was just like, and I didn't listen to Japanese lessons, This is just like just watch TV. そんなやつおらんやろ。みんなの日本語? Yeah, Japanese for everyone. みんなの日本語って書いてあったんかな? But I just remember the English. I think it said Japanese for everybody. So, or everyone or something like that. So anyway, I mean, talk about reading a book once. Well, over and over. Like, I tore the book apart, like like chapter 1. I like memorized everything. Chapter 2, I memorized everything. So, and then you start actually using the phrases and stuff like that. And like, yeah, don't need a book anymore. So it's important to have a book. It's important to have a good book. And I just think that everybody has like the basic English book, but like they never got like the whole, like, yeah, you got to learn accent. You got to learn a dialect. So I'm not going to repeat myself too much unless somebody wants me to repeat it. Otherwise, I think this is a good place to call it a night. But you guys are going to have a good day, I think, because what you're going to do, hopefully, in one way or the other, you're going to get out there and you're going to search for things in English. Because if you do remember, I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page here. You pick a lane. So genius. Pick a lane. Wait, hold on. My one flashcard or my one slide for you guys to make a lesson. But yeah, pick California English, number 1, pick California English, number 2, talk to 1,000 people, and then 3, if you don't understand something, make a flashcard. That's it. And you do that every day, you're going to get better. So it's almost like, guys, I could totally guide you. But like for me to focus on doing that every single day, I mean, who's going to make a video, So I'm so busy. So it's like, I want to provide to you guys some level of like personal care, but at the same time, I also want to make a video that gets seen by like 1 million people. Cause like I'm kind of in the YouTube game, if you know what I mean. Like I love making thumbnails. Thinking about thumbnails. I love headline making. I love thinking about what will be interesting to you. And I like thinking about making engaging stories. So like, if you see all my like top 10 or whatever, or like all the the actors and actresses, I think a lot about it because I really do think that hearing all the different styles of English is informative and you're going to learn something. And I just want to make popular videos so that I can help as many people as possible. And, who's popular, Kai Senpai or誰やろ? Taka. Taka is so much more famous than I am. Nobody's looking for me. And that's fine. Like, for now, I'm cool with that. But like, eventually, like if 1,000 people are watching this live stream, right? It's going to be kind of amazing. So anyway, guys, good night. It was really fun. Take it easy. And I'll be making another live stream soon, hopefully. In the meantime, take it easy. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for listening. But if you really do want to learn more, you're like, wait, Kai Senpai, don't go. Anybody that just got here, like, yeah, it's time for me to go. So I stopped, jumped in the vehicle, and yeah, go to my 3-step system there if you want to keep talking to my video, if that makes sense. Like if you want to talk to a digital copy of me, like you can go here. And actually, if you join the newsletter, which when you sign up, right, like you can email me and I will answer. So anyway, that's enough for now. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night. It's been a wonderful 2 hours, and hopefully we can spend more hours together soon. But it's nighttime, and for you, it's Sunday. So you're going to go out there and you're going to go talk to somebody in English, or you're going to start looking on the internet for cool things. And I think I shared a few things with you guys, like to which movie to look at, or another YouTuber, Hassan, and stuff like that. So I shared more than enough. The hot chicken wing thing, that was kind of cool, right? That's a cool show too, Mythic Quest. It's on Apple TV. If I can promote anything, guys, watch Apple TV. It's really cool. They got a lot of cool shows. And I'll talk to you guys soon. If you have any comments or anything, leave them in the comment section. And then email me if you have any other questions. And then you can also find me on Instagram too. But I can tell you about the Instagram if you sign up for the email. But anyway, guys, take it easy. Have a good one. And I'm out of here if I can figure out how to stop this. So hold on. But I'll just wave until it stops. Oh, we're not sharing a screen anymore? Do you guys prefer this? Do you guys prefer the big close up, or do you prefer me just sitting down there in the little corner? Like, yeah, but then if you do the close up, you can see the big beard. It's a big beard, isn't it? Here, let's see if I can get like a better angle. I don't know why. Oh, because I wanted the mic up close. That's why. Nah, that's me. Better? This would have been better, huh? If I just would have leaned over like this, but I'm hiding behind. But I hurt my back. Okay, guys, I said I was going to go to bed, but more of you keep showing up late into the thing. So I'm trying to say goodnight, and you guys won't hang up the phone. And like you say goodnight first. Michael already said oyasumi, but I'm just going to say it right now. Have a good day. And go out there, talk to somebody in English. And if you can't go out there and talk to somebody in English because of I don't know what reasons, go to Yoyogi Park. There's always an English speaker at Yoyogi Park, right? And if you're in Kyoto, I swear to God, there's so many English speakers in Kyoto. It was so easy to make that video. Like you just walk out and be like, excuse me, you want to be in a video? Like yeah, let's do it. So anyway, if you want to get out there, talk English with somebody, do it. Like listen. And if you have any questions, ask. It's really that simple. This is a conversation. It's not about like me, this is English, it's more about us discovering English together. And in that conversation, what we can achieve will be amazing. If you guys were willing to. It's just a matter of your focus from here on out. So I leave you to yourself. Good day, and I will talk to you soon. Goodbye, guys. Good night. End.